Hey, we did it. 40.
We did it.
We did it, boys! Ta-da-ta-da!
We did it, gamers. We hit 40
What's this 40 number?
Subscriber.
subs. We did it.
Oh.
We hit the 40 number.
Yay.
We hit the funny number. Yeah.
Okay.
Finally. When was this channel made again?
I don't know.
August 22nd.
Beat from
Now, I guess.
I don't think I'm ready for the emotional pain trying to 100% this game.
Oh god. Oh god. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, Cher, are you alive or are you really tired or something?
Fury is dead.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. It is just regular.
When did we start streaming? Oh wait, no.
We did start streaming.
Yay.
Yeah, we should probably get on that soon.
They might have to put someone probably gonna ping everyone soon. Yeah, it's
Hiccup should have done that. We should have already done that, cause...
ping the hick. Praise the hick.
Hiccup, can you?
Yeah,
Hey, wait,
really.
Who's
really
actually
just-
online? No Hiccups.
Nope. Yeah, Hiccup is on.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up! It's ready for that.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, Hiccup, Hiccup,
So, are we gonna follow the rules? Are we gonna follow the script again?
I'll just do the intro like always, cause that's what I do. I'm epic.
Wait, what happened? We already started.
Gaming? We're gaming. We're gaming. We're gaming.
Have we already started? I don't think
Yeah, we already started.
No,
we have.
no.
No, you have. We have. What do you?
Fuck. Oh no! The BGM is a little loud.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? This is it's live.
Yeah. We're alive. Whoa. There's something quite high going on. I got closer to my microphone.
So what's now our most viewed video still? Episode 2. Yeah, episode 2 is still our most viewed
episode
video.
2.
I guess that's where you get most of our attention.
Don't call it.
As soon as Hiccup pings,
So episode 2, and then episode 7, and then episode 1, and then Jacob's Math Rambling, and then episode 3. Wow, that's what unorganized.
Why don't we just have to start the stage back?
oh, there we go. There we go. There you go.
There, they already did it.
All right, change.
Because I guess why not?
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Void Cafe. My name is Benedict Tucker. It's been a long ass time.
It really has.
Yeah, 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. It has been 2 weeks, right?
I'm not long
I'm not
again.
right. Alright.
And we back again. Copyright.
Yeah.
Copyright. We're dead. We are all dead.
Wait, it's the Discord chat, get name recorded.
Oh, the BGM turned on again. Oh, there you go. Now it's a little lighter.
Right.
Oh, no, it's dead.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's back.
Let me check the shoes.
Oh, yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, too. Why not
Maybe
talk about
Yep.
it? And Knuckles.
Yep.
I don't think I'll watch it. Honestly.
I haven't watched the first one.
I got
I
forced
didn't
to
watch
watch
any.
both movies. I'll make
I didn't even
sense.
watch any of them. I haven't watched anything.
My family invited me to watch the first movie for my birthday, so that's what we did.
I got forced to watch. I got forced to watch the first one.
It
Minnie's
was.
gonna rant.
I mean, I
It was
liked
alright.
the movie. but that was kind of about it. In terms of staying to the source material and being a Sonic
Chat is
movie,
disabled for the life.
it's
Don't forget about the
it's
Mario
meh.
movie.
I mean, it was mainly. I feel like the purpose of it was less to focus on the Sonic fans, and more to just focus on little children that enjoy seeing funny blue hedgehog do speedy thing. But the second movie, they do seem to indeed be moving a lot back to the source material with the inclusion of the Master Emerald. The fact that even Robotnik or Eggman's robots in this case are actually looking like the Badniks from the original games, despite their complete white designs, and also, of course, the inclusion of Tails and Knock Knock It's Knuckles.
I'm waiting
by
for
the
the
way,
third movie. I'm waiting for the third movie, and they'll just call it Sonic and Knuckles.
by the way, when we are talking about
The only thing that I wish they would have done with the movie is change the title to Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Knuckles.
Oh, that would actually be
Sonic
pretty
3
good.
and Knuckles.
Then the third movie, it's gonna be Sonic 3 and Knuckles 2.
I don't know what they're gonna do for they might throw in Shadow. They're obviously if they're going to make this a series, they're going to have to throw in Shadow at some point.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't understand Sonic.
And that will be the moment where the Sonic movie series goes from a little kiddie show automatically up to a mature rating because Shadow is just Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow. Alright, so here's the real question. Is Shadow gonna have his pump action MP5?
His what?
Did you ever see that?
Action MP5.
Yeah,
game.
so it
Probably.
was super fucked, but he put the magazine in, tap, it was like magazine in, twist, tap, and then pump action MP5. It was super cursed.
Gun that's not supposed to be pump action like a shotgun is pump action like a shotgun.
Pump back. Okay.
Pump action MP5.
Pump action pistol.
Ew. No. God.
Technically, wouldn't that be if you just hold the slide of a pistol and like don't let it go, come back? You just
So a Nerf gun.
they rack
The
around.
fucking Maverick or the Strong Arm?
oh fuck it,
I
those
just
things are
got
great.
pump action pistol. What happened?
Yo, I'd go with that Maverick. Just modify it and make it stronger than a Strong Arm.
Yeah.
Okay,
What's it? The Raider has an air tank that you can drill holes into, so it hits harder, and it also sounds like you're firing a nail gun.
Bonk boy, I hate you. What is that?
It's a pump action pistol, and then it showed up.
It's a pellet gun.
Okay, thank you.
By the way, Overlord Season 4 is coming. That's fun.
I haven't watched Overlord.
I hope that it actually come out, not die, because sometimes it dies, which is pretty sad.
I'm watching Cells at Work.
So work, it's a pretty good. I guess it's alright. It's alright.
I've heard
Cells
things
at
about it, and this is gonna sound very funny, but somebody in my biology class, this happened last year, but when I was in biology, somebody recommended that anime to our teacher.
Did it?
I like Cells at Work so
How'd that
far.
go?
It's pretty good.
I don't know if my teacher ever watched it.
Did you ask?
No, I didn't ask.
Burger King sus. McDonald's sus.
I guess we should probably talk
More
about
sus.
Among Us VR. Anyone? You want to talk about that?
Among Us VR. Yo.
No.
I'm sorry, Apple.
I'm gonna make this one short.
Sorry,
But
Apple.
all I'm saying.
Oh God! I forgot Minnie was
Why?
here. No, there's no sus. No Among Us. No Among Us.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make this short. I'm just like,
ban Minnie. Ban Minnie. Ban Minnie. Ban
literally
Minnie.
the only reason it's there is just so interesting.
Everybody that's a ban.
But you know, if you want to
Ban
get
Aqua.
right now, then enter the plague that is VR chat. Enjoy. All right, next
Okay,
topic.
you brought this on
Oh yeah,
yourself.
next up. Sorry about that. I'm not. Sorry.
All right,
Techno, are you there? Techno, are you live? Hold on. Techno, are you live?
This is all from like
Yeah,
last week.
just yeah.
Alright.
Yeah,
Just
that's all
making
from
sure.
last week. Yeah, that was just news. The Sonic 2 stuff.
Just in case that somebody it's like pretty late for you guys, right? So just in case you guys was one of you guys fall asleep because
This,
I'm pretty sure that one of us already did that once.
The voices.
it's
The voices.
I like how our actual like active chat is the Discord chat, not the YouTube chat.
slight problem. It's only been 11 minutes and we're already out of topics.
Yeah, peppermints. Let's just talk about mints and peppermints. I've watched videos of how candy canes are made.
Oh yeah, it's always a great video to watch.
Yeah, especially Hugbee's video. You guys know who Hugbee's is?
No.
Hugbee's, you know how it's made videos? Like they go into a factory, they explain how something's made.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
guy.
he does parodies of that, and it's fucking great.
Have you ever seen the one? What was it? I remember what it was. I think it was.
There's something to do with
Cheesecake. It was cheesecake
Cheesecake?
where he ended up yelling, in like halfway through the video.
Hold on a second. Let me watch. Let me watch a. Let me go through Hugbee's videos.
I gotta. I'm trying to find it later.
Hug.
But
Usually, whenever I think of mints and peppermints, I always think of Mentos, and then I think of dropping them in a soda bottle because I've never done that before, and I've wanted to do it.
When I
I've
think
tried.
you
think
get.
of,
Wait, hold up.
when I think
Cherry.
of peppermints, I think of cherry being base as fuck. Don't know why.
Cherry,
I never tried
What?
peppermint.
Cherry, you've never dropped a Mentos in a Coke?
No, I don't like soda. I've never touched it before. Well, I mean, I touched it once because Pepper came up to me and was like, "You're gonna drink soda and you're gonna like it," and I responded with, "Fine, I'll take a sip of it." And then I took a sip of it, and then I proceeded to not like it. So, yeah, I
I understand completely. I'm pretty sure there's like something you could like, I guess, consider soda, but it's not really soda, or like drinks are just really good and people say are better. So
I don't like soda just because of the way I think if I was to try to explain my distaste, it would probably be the fact that I just can't handle the fizziness of it,
You know, like the
and
carbonation.
how it feels.
I just have a nice day.
Just wait.
It's like it burns me a little bit, and I don't
Yeah,
like that.
I don't drink soda often just because I don't
Same
get my
here.
hands on it.
My parents are pretty
Plus, my
strict about.
my father supports the fact of me not drinking soda because apparently it's not healthy. So yeah.
Oh yeah, it is most definitely not healthy.
oh
Yeah,
guys,
definitely not.
guys, I completely forgot there was a new FNAF game released. Literally
Oh yeah,
yesterday.
literally last night, security breach.
I want to
What?
play it.
Oh, I think I saw that. Yeah.
I'll give.
I guess.
haven't-
Yeah, since we're
I
talking
haven't
about
seen
games.
anything of it, but I am currently watching a playthrough. So if anybody knows anything about the game, I will come to your house and I will rotate your bed 10 degrees counterclockwise.
Whoa.
So I guess since you're talking
I'm
about
not,
games,
Grumbo, I'm not surprised it runs so slow because it's relatively
what did you
new.
say?
since you're talking about games, Titanfall's dead.
Oh yeah, Titanfall died. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. I mean peace.
And yeah, so if you look into the subreddit,
Spaghetti, never forgetty.
yeah, it's
Forget.
gone, and the entire subreddit has gone schizophrenic. Our Titanfall, our Titanfall has gone schizophrenic. They believe that Titanfall 3 is in their possession.
Titanfall
is-
has fallen.
Yeah, 2 has fallen. The doctors finally got to the servers. Completely docked the servers. If you try to enter multiplayer, it just won't work. Servers are completely gone. There's literally no way. So
I completely forgot the FNAF timeline, so don't
why
ask
shut
me.
down though?
I know, like,
Yeah,
I know,
because I can't call it respawn
I know
anymore.
most of the FNAF timeline specifically
Why you
because
shut
I
down, though?
watched Game Theory.
I
Yeah.
need a brush up. No, go away.
EA didn't want to work on stopping doxers from just taking the servers of Titanfall.
That sounds familiar because I know a series that it happened to.
Yeah.
All right, Cherry. I think
I'm
you have
sad
to
that I
explain the
can't.
whole FNAF timeline.
I'm sad that I can't
boy,
call it
okay.
Respawn anymore because
Alright, so let's see. It starts all the way back with two people. Oh, thanks, Minnie. William Afton and Henry. I forgot his last name, but
Emily.
we don't really care about that. Basically,
Henry Emily.
they're working and recreate animatronics, and they sort of just make mascots and do it as a
Jerry, Jerry,
There's
you are really far from your mic.
It's just a simple restaurant with two animatronics that double as both mascot suits and actual animatronics with this whole revolutionary technology of spring locks. Their names are Freddy and Bonnie. And for the most part, things are going pretty okay, except for the fact that William Afton was maybe kind of just a little bit totally mental.
You're seriously explaining the law right now, Cherry.
Yeah,
Yes.
actually
Yeah,
interesting.
funny man kills children, stuffs them in suits.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
I don't think
entire law.
I don't think a lot of us are gonna be.
We're going
That's the
end to
entire
end.
law.
So
That's all I
I'm not
know.
going to stop until we've actually finished this. You brought this upon yourself, but either
I'm
way.
genuinely interested.
So short. So a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, Springlock suits and William Afton being just kind of a little bit very insane. So Afton also has a family of his own. We don't know what happened to his wife, but he has a daughter and two sons. Now we're gonna go ahead and so the biggest thing happens around where FNAF 4 shows up, because who doesn't like having the fourth game sequentially be one of the first games in the timeline? That's fun. So basically what happens is so there's this kid called the Crying Child. We don't actually know his real name, but he's like freaking tormented by his older brother Michael Afton, because he's kind of a wuss when it comes to the animatronics. He does not like them and he's very afraid of them, which is kind of fair. But either way, at some point his birthday rolls around, and it just so happens that he will be spending his birthday at Fredbear's Family Diner, which is probably the last place he wants to be. So so he's just not having fun, and then Michael and his buddies come along and decide to do what little kids do by taking things a little bit too far. So they pick him up and they take him right up to Fredbear, or Freddy himself. And the Crying Child is, of course, crying and freaking out. And if there's one thing that you need to know about the Springlock animatronic mascot costumes, it's that they are very, very, very dangerous. Just the slightest bit of moisture or too much movement on them will cause the spring locks to come loose and essentially send the animatronic from suit mode to animatronic mode, which means all the little bits and pieces that are supposed to be inside of the animatronic will now go inside of you. So that's not fun. AKA you'll die. So yay, that's have fun working there. Totally not pressured at all. But so either way, Michael takes the Crying Child up to Freddy, and they take things once again a little bit too far by sticking the Crying Child's head inside of Freddy. And honestly, I don't know why they did that. Now, I'm not like Einstein here, but I think I can do this pretty simple math. So, Crying Child that is crying his eyes out, making a lot of just crying because he's very scared, plus animatronic mascot suit that can essentially break down whenever he's exposed to wet stuff and moisture, equals you know what happens. But so basically what happens is Fredbear's jaw spring locks lock up, I believe, and he ends up what Minnie sent. He accidentally bites down on the Crying Child's head and inflicts a major wound on him. And this is not the bite of 1987 because this happened a lot longer before. This is the bite of 1983. And so after that huge loss, the crying child is dead. Cool. And that's not the only death that happens at Fredbear's Family Diner, because we have another one. Hey, so William Afton lost a son. Don't you think it's about time Henry lost one too? Henry has his own daughter named Charlotte, Charlie, whatever the fuck her name was in the books, I don't remember. But either way, fun stuff happens, aka she gets locked out of a out of a birthday party one time at Fredbear's Family Diner, and William Afton just sort of strolls up in his purple car. And he steps out, he walks up, and he just kind of kills her. And then he drives away like as if nothing ever happened. And he got away with it somehow. So yeah, after Charlotte's death, Henry just kind of disappears. And as for William, you'd think that with the death of his youngest son, he would probably, think about what he just did and what happened. Yeah, I'm getting to that, but I'm getting to that, Mini. But he does like the exact opposite. And he goes around and he decides that it'll be okay to go out and do more murder stuff. So
murk more people.
Yeah, he's gonna go murk more people. Now, if we can switch things back to Charlie or Charlotte for a second. So I know that. So after kind of killing Charlotte, she was just kind of laid out there to die. But Henry was very protective of his only daughter, and that was kind of like a good thing in a sense, because he had made something called the security puppet or marionette, whatever the heck. Basically, it was designed to keep track of all the children and make sure that they didn't go places that they weren't supposed to. And on that day when Charlotte was stuck outside of the pizzeria, the puppet was having trouble getting out of its box because the kids put some presents on it, and I don't know how small measly presents can stop an animatronic puppet, but sure. Either way, by the time the security puppet gets out and goes over to Charlotte, she's already kind of dead.
Oh my Shinderu.
Yeah. And it's actually kind of a pretty depressing cutscene because you see the security puppet go out into the rain and it's breaking down, and by the time it reaches Charlotte's body, it is literally in disrepair.
Can I ask a question? I wasn't paying attention, and why is Cherry explaining FNAF?
Because I was.
Just read the channel name.
Let me see if I can read this name out right. Told me to. So that's what I'm doing.
Just call him Appa.
Read the channel name. That's all you need, Techno.
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, so that's what happened with Charlotte, and guess what? There's kind of an unspoken rule in the FNAF universe, which is as follows: if you are killed by any animatronic that is made by William Afton, your soul is definitely gonna go on to haunt one of those animatronics. And I think you can tell what happened with Charlotte. Her soul possessed the puppet, and yeah. So Charlotte's now just kind of living as a creepy thing, and William Afton is gonna go off and do more things. So after having that child that kind of died, the place got for a little bit, and then they closed back up, and then and then a whole bunch of other stuff happened, and that's when the bite of 83 happened, and then they closed down, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But then, and that's when the people behind Fredbear's Family Diner were just like, you know what, screw this, we're out. I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. Other people can take care of it. It's not our job. So they just kind of bailed. And some now new people where no, I'm not done yet. We're not even like a quarter of the way done. But but either way, so now these new people come in, and they've got this whole big idea where they're not just gonna make a diner, they're gonna make a whole series off of this stuff. And these people go by Freddy Fazbear's Entertainment, I believe.
Fazbear Entertainment.
Fazbear Entertainment, yeah.
Or
whatever.
Faz Hunt.
Okay. But either way. So they're gonna try to. So they don't. So they not only. How do I have the brain to remember all this stuff? Except you don't want to know. You don't want to know. It's a secret to everybody. But. So they want to capitalize on this whole Freddy thing, despite the time the two children died. So after the bite of '83, Fazbear Entertainment is just like, you know what? You see these spring lock things that are really dangerous? We should probably not use them anymore. So, so they put them into storage, and yeah. But hey, guess who's back to do more stuff? It's William Afton. He's here, and he's gonna do what he does best, which is kill some children, because, I don't know. And this happens around what? Five Nights at Freddy's 2, I believe? Where... So the whole company is trying to sort of do this whole grand reopening thing with new animatronic facial recognition stuff. And ooh, cool shenanigans, because remember this time those children died? We're not gonna let that happen again. So yeah. However, William Afton is just like, hey, you see these you know what? I'm gonna do a thing. You know these spring lock animatronics that are just kind of in the back? You know, how about we just sort of, you know, kind of sort of leave them there? You know, we can just kind of forget about them. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and just sort of take the whole backroom storage thing off the security map. No one really needs to know that it's there. And I'm also gonna kind of reprogram the animatronics so that way they don't have to worry about being in the back room. You know, there's nothing weird going on here. Don't worry about it. And yeah. They just kind of let him do his thing for some apparent reason. So yeah, to make a whole long story short, William Afton goes out and kills a whole bunch of people, so the place gets shut down again. Yeah, and in one of those times, he starts messing not only with the back room, he messes with the animatronics even more. Kind of fucking with their facial recognition stuff. And so before the place gets shut down, after the 5 more children go missing, holy shit, William, they have one last birthday party to throw. And it's at this time where the toy animatronics, which are supposed to be cutting edge technology with their facial recognition and with them being linked to some sort of criminal database, they start going a little bit wacky. And then they get a little bit too wacky. And they notice that there's a little guard off to the side, and they say, hey, you kind of look like a baddie. You mind if I just bite down on your frontal lobe and cause a huge misunderstanding to happen? So yeah, basically that's, as Markiplier says, that is most certainly the bite of '87. So yay!
Then there's this Fritz dude that fucks with the robots.
We're gonna get to Fritz and what's going on with all of those peeps. So, you remember that now we need to sort of backtrack just a little bit, because remember how I told you that William Afton had 2 sons? Yeah. He also had a daughter as well, Elizabeth. And William Afton kind of realized that, hey, this animatronic thing for killing kids is kind of pretty useful. Why don't I just go ahead and make my own? Enter sister location. So basically, William Afton creates this whole slew of another crew of Freddy gang stuff, and they're in the whole thing is Circus Baby's Pizza World. That's what it's advertised as. And all the animatronics there, which are Circus Baby, which is some sort of singer clown thing, Ballora, which is a ballerina, and then you have Funtime Freddy, and then you have Funtime Foxy, and then you have the annoying piece of shit Bonnie puppet. Either way, all of those,
go get him.
yeah, there's a reason why he gets constantly thrown into the doors. But either way, so these animatronics aren't just designed to entertain children. They have certain design choices about them that are a little bit weird. They have this sort of stuff where they can mimic parents' voices, and they have these chest cavities which are big enough to contain a single child inside of them. It's kind of weird. So yeah, as it turns out, William Afton created these animatronics for the sole purpose of luring and kidnapping children. Hey, you want to know what William Afton has? Children! So, on the very first day, Circus Baby's Pizza World, opening up, his own daughter, Elizabeth Afton, goes right up to Circus Baby, all alone, because she's been constantly hammering about how she wants to play with them. Play with her, yeah. And when Elizabeth walks up to her, Circus Baby's just like, hey, mind if I just rip my torso open so that way I can bring you inside of me in a literal sense because I have a lobster claw in my stomach? Cool, thanks. So Elizabeth gets not scooped, but dragged, whatever the fuck happened to her. She died, and her spirit goes on to possess Baby. So yeah. So that's what happened with Elizabeth. And it's at this moment where Michael also has kind of grown up a little bit, and he's starting to realize, hey, my dad's kind of a crazy fucking weirdo. Also, where's my sister? And William Afton is just like, oh, you're wondering where Elizabeth is? Well, she's kind of down in that bunker over there. You see that sort of thing? You can just go down there and you'll be fine. Trust me, you'll find her. No worries. And yeah, so that's the whole plot of Sister Location. And because when Elizabeth Afton died, the place got immediately shut down. And however, the fucking Sister Location animatronics were still open for rental parties. Because, yeah, that's a cool backup plan. But either way, Michael Afton goes down into the Sister Location to check for Elizabeth, and it's here where all this shit really sets in, where he actually starts figuring out that William Afton isn't just a little bit of a weirdo, he's also kind of a big murderer. And before he can do anything about it, he gets scooped. Cause yeah, he gets scooped because the animatronics in the Sister Location are tired of being down there and they want to leave. And they see Michael Afton and they're like, yo, he has a skeletal system. Why don't we just become that skeletal system? So that's what they do. They use the scooper and they rip out his insides and his skeleton so that way they can crawl inside of it as one big entity called Ennard, whatever the fuck that thing is. And they can just kind of, they can use his skin suit to leave.
But
Yay.
fun fact, Michael lives afterwards somehow.
Yeah, so as it turns out, human bodies kind of decompose when they die. And over time, that kind of happens with Michael Afton. And Ennard's like, yo, this was dope as shit before, but now he's this weird purple amalgamation body thing, and I don't like it here anymore. I'm gonna leave. And they just kind of
fucking thrown up out of the body.
they just kind of do that. They just sort of ditch him. And somehow he's okay? Yeah, after like having his entire insides ripped out of him, and then being worn as a skin suit, decomposing, and then having to vomit out an entire like garbled mess of wires, he just kind of gets up like nothing ever happened. I mean, I admire his perseverance, but holy shit. But, yeah. So, now Michael Afton has a goal, and his goal is to undo all of the bad stuff that his own father's done. And he starts realizing, so he starts picking up jobs at pizzerias. So that way he can work the night shift and tamper with the animatronics, because he noticed something. These animatronics are acting kind of funky. All of them are. And it turns out that they're all been hunted by the spirits of dead children. And if you want to know who's to blame for all that, well, you can blame good old Charlie, whatever her name was, Puppet. So basically, when William Afton came by and murdered those 5 kids, Charlotte was like, oh, you guys are kind of, well, you're dead now. But hey, wouldn't it be crazy cool if you guys got to possess the freaking animatronics that were trying to entertain you while you were here? Alright, let me do that for you real quick. And so, yeah, she kind of puts the souls into the bodies of the animatronics, and now they're there. And so now the animatronics are possessed, and they're mad, and they're scared, and they're confused, and they just want to go home, go bed. But yeah. So I don't know if Charlotte kind of did the good thing there with putting them in their, yeah. It's a little weird. But yeah, Michael Afton catches onto that, and he starts working nighttime shifts so that way he can set the spirits free. And he kind of does that in a little bit. However, he also gets fired because, you know, not only is he tampering with the animatronics, he's kind of a walking corpse. So he kind of smells really bad. But yeah, he keeps going from place to place. And eventually, we reach Five Nights at Freddy's 1, which is the first game in the series, but not the first in the timeline. And this is kind of basically when the company is like, hey, guess what? You know those FNAF 2 animatronics? Yeah, they suck. We're gonna reboot the entire franchise now, and we made these new ones, so you can come and check that out. But due to the past history of FNAF, of the Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria locations being kind of associated with dead children, nobody really wants to go there. So, yeah. The place kind of... And also, William Afton comes by and he also kills 5 more kids. So that's fun. All that sort of stuff leads to FNAF 1 being shut down, and the entire building goes into disrepair. But while the building is in disrepair, guess who comes back for literally no fucking reason? It's William Afton. He's here again, and he starts dismantling the animatronics because why? If you're looking at this from purely a game perspective, you wouldn't know, but if you're an avid fucking FNAF socialist and you read every single piece of media that's out there, the actual reason why he's down there is because he learned of something called a remnant, which is basically, hey, when somebody dies, their soul leaves this kind of primary emotion with them. So, yeah. And he wants to experiment with that because he thinks that he can achieve immortality. So that's why he's back there. But either way, he starts dismantling the animatronics and accidentally does an oopsie because apparently dismantling the animatronics sets their souls not free, but just kind of releases them. So, the souls see William Afton and they're like, hey, you're that man that kind of did a very not nice thing to us. What the fuck? So they chase him down, and William Afton is starting to panic, because in the past, the way he's committed his murders has always been the same shtick, which is go into the back room, hop into the Bonnie Springlock costume, pretend to be Bonnie, and then go out, lure some kids into the back room with them where it's off the cameras, and then just kind of murder them, and then leave. Yeah. So that was his whole plan, and I don't know why he decides to do this, but he decides to hop into his Bonnie suit when he's being cornered by the spirits, because sure, that seems like a good idea. Now, once again, I'm not Stephen Hawking, but I think I can do basic math here. So we have one man inside of a very, very faulty Springlock suit, which is very, very sensitive to moisture. Plus, a rundown building that is leaking water on the inside due to it raining on the outside. And, you can kind of guess what happens here.
Crunch.
The Springlocks close in on him, and he just kind of dies.
He gets crushed to death.
It's crushed to death, because...
He dies of death.
Yes. The Springlocks clamp down on him, they lock back into this... They go from suit mode to animatronic mode, and he dies there in the middle of the pizzeria. Yay, he died just like the children did. And the corporate people behind the FNAF, the freaking Fazbear Entertainments, they're just like, you know what? Why don't we just seal off the back rooms and forget it ever existed? So that's what they do. And then they officially close down. And that's where kind of the story ends for, like, what, 30 years, I think?
20.
Because 30 years in the future, another entire company is like, yo, remember way back when we had this weird string of children dying and going missing in pizzerias? We can make a horror attraction off of that. And that's what they do. So they make a whole Freddy Fazbear based horror attraction called Fazbear Frights. It's basically, they just kind of, yeah, it's FNAF 3. And they're currently trying to get the place up and running for potential cool stuff. And at some point, guess who decides to show up to the party but fucking Michael Afton, because I don't know what he's doing here. But he signs up for the nighttime shift. I don't know, maybe he just wanted some nostalgia, because it's been 30 years since he's had to do anything pretty cool. But then, while he's on the job, he gets caught up by one of the employees and says, "Hey buddy, guess what we found? We found a secret walled-off back room, and guess what we found in there? We found this old-ass animatronic that's looking pretty creepy. So, yeah, have fun with it." And, yeah. It's William Afton, now known as Springtrap. He is in the Fazbear Frights, and yeah. So he's just kind of hanging out there, and Michael realizes that at this point, his father's trying to kill him. I don't know what his father's trying to do. He's just kind of in there now. But Michael he kind of doesn't like his father since, you know, he murdered those whole bunch of children. So after spending a few more nights with him, he decides to say, you know what, fuck it, and just becomes an arsonist and sets the entire building on fire. Springtrap included. Yeah.
No, he's come back.
So Michael leaves and is like, yo, I just killed my father who was a murderer. I'm probably pretty cool right now. And then as he's walking away, guess what? Springtrap somehow survived. What the fuck?
Tasty.
Yeah. Springtrap's alive somehow. Michael is also alive somehow. And we also need to check in back on Ennard. Remember when they just kind of ditched Michael all the way back at his sister location? Yeah. It's been a while. And Ennard is kind of like a body with the mind and souls of Laura, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, and maybe Bonbon's there, thank God. But they're kind of like, picture, you know how, what's the fucking TV show? Power Rangers. You know how they individually have their own little mecha suits, but they can combine their suits into one giant ass suit, and they can all control it together. Yeah, that's kind of what they did. So picture like each one of the sister location characters as their own individual Power Ranger mecha suit, and then they just decide to say, you know what? Let's do that cool thing where we morph all our bodies together. So yeah, that's basically what Ennard is. And yeah, he's that fucking amalgamation. But either way, yeah, so they have a really big dispute because Circus Baby is like, yo, I've been kind of the leader of this whole thing, so let me continue being leader and everything will be a-okay. But then Funtime Freddy, in all of his Funtime Freddy glory, says, no, fuck you, I'm Freddy Fazbear, I'm the leader. And then they get into a sort of fight. And I don't know how, but Freddy somehow wins the majority vote, and Baby gets kicked out of the group. So now she has to find a way to support herself.
You're kicked out of the weird fetus creation.
Yeah, and she finds enough scraps to pull herself back together in a physical body. I don't know how she managed to do that, but she eventually becomes Scrap Baby with the little claw thing on her hand. Also, she has roller skates, and honestly, I kind of dig that. But either way, so what happened with Ennard? Now that Baby's out of the group, well, he literally just dissolved into a mess of wires, like even more so than Ennard was. He's gonna become, and I don't know why, but they decided on this name of Molten Freddy. And I think, if anything, Funtime Freddy kind of became a dictator. Because literally any other resemblance of the other two animatronics are just kind of gone.
So let me get this straight.
It's just Freddy now.
We've gone from a pizzeria with animatronics to establishing a fascist dictatorship.
Yeah.
But with a robot.
But
Well, with
yeah,
a robot.
so now we have not one, not two, but 3 killer animatronics on the loose.
As you do.
So you're probably wondering how we deal with them. Well, guess who finally jumps back into the picture after leaving literally 30 seconds into the entire platform? It's Henry. He's back somehow, and he's got a plan. He opens up this whole chain, and he hires Michael Afton to be this sort of entrepreneur guy thing. However, that's not the main motive. The main motive here is to gather Springtrap as William Afton, Molten Freddy, and Scrap Baby, and he wants to lure them all to his place. And he also designs something else. He also designs an animatronic bear that is also able to lure and capture something. Not children, but other animatronic. The puppet. Because that's where his daughter is, Charlotte. Henry knew that Charlotte was possessing the puppet. And, yeah. So, the puppet gets trapped inside a Lefty. I don't know how Lefty managed to do that, but good for him. But yeah, so the puppet is inside of Lefty. Scrap Baby is Scrap Baby. William Afton is William Afton, of course he is, and Ennard is now Molten Freddy. So, and also Michael Afton is there too. So Henry finally gathers everybody in that one place where he needs them to and says, hey, everybody here is kind of supposed to be dead, but you're not. So why don't I just go ahead and set the whole place on fire again? And that's what he does. He burns the entire place to the ground. He kills He kills Scrap Baby. He kills Molten Freddy. He kills Michael Afton. He kills William Afton, and he also kills himself.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone dies. Hooray! But you might also be wondering, how the hell is Afton able to live through all of that stuff too? Well, you remember way back in, you remember how Afton was kind of killing a whole bunch of kids? One of those kids that he murdered, kind of went to possess Golden Freddy, also alongside the Crying Child. So, yeah, Golden Freddy has two, fucking...
The Golden Freddy is Hachima.
Yeah, essentially. He's got two souls inside of him. He's got the Crying Child soul, and he's got another child soul. Cassidy! Cassidy, yes. And Cassidy is angry. Cassidy is very, very angry. Cassidy is so angry that they won't let William Afton die. That's a William Afton.
I thought it was like only
Cass.
I
That is why. Huh?
I thought it was like only Cassidy keeping William in hell.
Yeah, no, the Crying Child also possesses Golden Freddy. If you want to know why, there's like the fucking FNAF Fazbear Fright books will tell you all about it. I don't remember. But essentially, basically what happens is the Crying Child possesses Golden Freddy's body first, and then Cassidy gets killed later on, and she's like, I'm here too now.
And I'm going to be the one who controls everything now. You're just there.
Yeah, essentially. Well, no, I think it's a joint effort between the two. I think Cassidy is not the body, but the mind, and the Crying Child is the body. But either way, Cassidy's own spirit voodoo magic is keeping William Afton alive. And also, when William Afton dies, they say, no, fuck you, you're still gonna live. And Cassidy puts William Afton through his own little personal hell, which comes out in the game of Ultimate Custom Night, which I've played, but I haven't beaten because I'm a little pussycat. But that's besides the point.
Isn't it like the way that his suffering actually like needs to stop? Like revenge shouldn't have like been like that. Like
well, there is the Old Man Consequences, which is essentially his whole thing is basically telling Cassidy to chill the fuck out.
Yeah, and like people not playing Ultimate Custom Night means Afton's suffering ends, right?
Yeah. So that happens, and that should be the end of Freddy Fazbear's. But fucking years into the future, we have technology, we have virtual reality, we have a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, here it is.
There's this one guy who's like, yo, remember all of those very, very, very weird and scary moments that happened in the FNAF entertainment franchise? Why don't I just make a whole bunch of horror games off of them? And that's what he does. Yep, FNAF has just officially gone meta. The FNAF games that you play in real life are actual games that are also inside of the story as well. Created by a developer who I shall call Not Coffin. So, yeah. The people behind Freddy Fazbear's are like, yo, this man's kinda fucking with us. So they decide to fight fire with fire. They create their own game, which is a compilation of, it's a compilation of all the other games that Not Coffin made, put into one, so they can kind of make jabs at themselves, put behind past mistakes, and just sort of, kind of discredit Not Coffin's work too, because people were actually buying into this shit. But they did something kind of oopsie. When they were making the game, the dev team used some code from these old cartridges. And you want to know what was on that cartridges?
The code to the animatronics.
Yep, a fucking digital replication of William Afton's consciousness made it onto that goddamn cartridge So now he's in FNAF VR. Somehow, he just does not stop.
Then he makes his own like cult, right?
Yeah, and William Afton does what William Afton does best, which is kill people, but not in the way that you would expect him to. Instead of just straight up killing people, he uses his own influence and stuff to sort of brainwash the dev team into being his own little servants. And one of them just so happens to be a young girl named Vanessa, or Vanny, whatever the fuck her name is. She's kind of reluctant to do what William Afton says, but she does it anyway, because William Afton is William Afton. So yeah, now we've got a whole bunch of we don't have a whole bunch of murder animatronics on the loose. We just have a whole bunch of murderers on the loose now. So that's cool. And that's kind of where the story ends.
So
And then FNAF Security Breach just came out like last night, so we're gonna see how that plays out. But that is essentially the entire FNAF lore. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Okay.
I am not tired at all.
So
That took a
basically,
whole hour.
William Afton.
Is it?
That was basically the entire podcast session. Oh my god.
I mean, you guys want to go longer?
I don't mind. We could go like 20 minutes.
Is
long.
FNAF AR even canon?
I mean,
No, I
random.
was just about to ask.
Oh, the fucking FNAF. Oh yeah, there's little cutscenes that you find inside of Ultimate Custom Night.
So
I mean, the whole,
basically,
I know that the anime one, it's essentially the whole rivalry between William Afton and Henry, with Henry being Freddy and William Afton being Foxy, and I don't know who the fuck Mangle is supposed to represent. Maybe it's bitch, but I don't remember, but I don't know.
okay.
There goes
So-
bitch.
Essentially, Afton is Corpse Ina.
He's coming.
Well, I mean, Ina didn't want to kill people. Afton did. So basically, okay, if you want me to sum it up in just 1 second, William Afton is a crazy person, and no matter how many times he dies, he keeps coming back to do more crazy shit. The end.
Or his disciples do it for him. Depends. It's kind of like Dio, but not really.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay, so I guess since we did the entire lore of Five Nights at Freddy's, Techno, do you want to do the entire lore of the Amigo ARG?
Lord help us!
Techno?
Pray to God. Please don't do this.
Techno died.
Techno dead! Techno dead!
He's experiencing some technical difficulties.
Cherry, shut up. No.
Some techno difficulties.
He's probably off with news postmortem.
Winks.
Not at all.
Huh.
Winkles. Winkle. Ugly
Oh
winkles.
shit, what now?
Smooth brain. Cute.
But yeah,
I've
that's the
claimed.
entire FNAF lore.
Well, thank you for your
That was a fucking journey!
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of summarized it a hell of a lot. There's a few videos on there that are like hours long that go very in detail about this,
and then there's also like all the Matt Pat videos,
and also all the MatPat videos.
which I'm sure
That's
only
oh my
help
god.
with the fucking lore.
So help me God.
That always helps.
Oh yeah, that whole story. I remember MatPat's first fucking FNAF episode, which was essentially the player is a criminal in jail and the game is a nightmare. that
would
was
have been
scary.
interesting. That would have been interesting.
Yeah,
And the funny thing is that kind of made sense when Ultimate Custom Night came along. You're playing as a criminal who is in metaphorical jail and is experiencing a nightmare.
I mean, being
Back to
trapped in a room of lethal animatronics for 5 days sure shit sounds like a nightmare.
No.
Oh yeah, Dream Theory was, oh my fuck.
Game Theory wild.
Yeah.
Game theory, wild and.
Huh, what now? I guess.
We can talk about the Kirby lore.
No,
Alright.
no more lore.
We'll hold off on lore. That'll
No
be
more
next.
lore.
Just read the VC name.
Here's actually a good question. Are we doing a podcast next week?
I
Hopefully.
don't know.
I would like to be here next week.
I don't know. I feel like all of us are gonna be busy, and plus it falls on like Christmas Day, I think.
I have like nothing to do.
No, it's the day before.
Yeah, it's like Christmas Eve.
Is that actually the day before? Oh shit, you're right. It is the day before Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. We should have done a Christmas special. That's what we should have done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You should do a
Yeah,
Christmas
but
special.
you expect to ramble about FNAF for about an hour.
It's
Oh, God,
fine. If
Winston
Die
Churchill.
Hard,
Now we don't know what to do.
if Die Hard's considered a Christmas movie, then FNAF 4 can be considered a Christmas special.
Now here's a question for you guys: is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or is it a Christmas movie?
Both. It really just depends on what side you focus on. If you focus on Jack, then it's a Halloween movie. If you focus on Santa taking over the world with AR-15s, it's a Christmas movie. Santa starts a militia, let's
I don't
go.
remember that part of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Santa starts a militia.
English unit.
Personally, I consider it a Thanksgiving movie.
There, no one wins.
I consider it a movie. That's it.
Just because people can't just because it's both Halloween and Christmas. What comes in between Halloween and Christmas? Thanksgiving. Case
Exactly.
closed.
That way,
That's
no
the
one wins.
reasoning.
No, he's not horrible. No one wins. Problem solved.
No one wins, but no one loses at the same time.
Hey guys, you want to talk about all those jump love animations or no?
What,
Love animations, what?
calling Nightmare Before Christmas a Thanksgiving movie is
Don't
like
post saying chat. I swear to God, I'll shoot one of you.
yeah.
After I
Calling
mentioned
Nightmare Before Christmas a Thanksgiving movie is like
Giga Chat.
it's just fucking King Solomon suggesting you cut the baby in half.
Cutting babies. That's evil.
You never heard that?
What are you gonna do with the corpse?
Alright, never mind. I'm just gonna fucking
Crazy
give up.
Cole? Crazy Cole? Crazy Cole? Crazy Cole? Crazy, my
I
boy.
guess we should actually probably do our annual fucking.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask. How are y'all's days?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I just spent around an hour and 30 minutes just playing the entire FNAF floor, so I'm doing cool.
Yeah, that was actually not bad. I don't know. Good.
I'll be
Good.
honest,
I will.
I kind of mixed up. I kind of forgot a few things, and I kind of did things a little bit out of order.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything is probably fine. I don't know. Let's see.
I would also just like to end off one last thing about FNAF, which is the fact that Scott Cawthon got criticized once and just decided to fucking retire.
Yeah.
What do you even get criticized on? I saw that.
There was somebody showed the public that he had been supporting Donald Trump, and he just decided to say, fuck it, I'm quitting. Because of that.
Yeah.
So someone
I thought
exposed.
you retired because you were sick of it.
So someone exposed.
Someone hacked, I don't know what the fuck they did, but they showed that he had been
Public donations.
he had been donating and funding not only Donald Trump but a whole bunch of people who were essentially anti-LGBTQ or stuff like that, and because of that he just decided to say I'm done, and he left.
Ah.
He just be like those bucks.
You left like a dad.
Let's see. So,
You could quite literally search it up. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, if you want more detail on it, because I did a very bad
Come back.
I did a very bad summarization of it. If you want more detail, you can most certainly search it up on like Google. Just search Scott Cawthon quitting FNAF or something, and you'll probably get a whole bunch of articles based upon it because
Yeah, he sent money to bad people, but then people proceeded to like dox him and threaten his unborn child.
Oh shit.
Yeah, don't go that fucking far.
Yeah. I don't think we'd have to say that. I hope everyone here is sane, but
doxing isn't a nice thing to do to people.
absolutely not.
Another DDoSing.
Stupid.
What are you guys gonna do for Christmas?
I don't know. I think I have family coming down.
I don't even know.
Shit. I guess we should probably do our weekly sponsorship of server or something. I don't fucking know. Minnie, do you have the script? I'll do it.
Can I read it off this time?
Yeah, sure, take it.
Should I drop my keychain?
Oh, the void. Oh yeah. Void ARG. It's going on. I think. I don't really know what's happening. I think we're waiting on someone, right? Without saying too much, I think we're waiting on someone to do something, and I think then we'll have more of it happening, probably. Yeah, the Void Cafe created an entire second ARG.
Yeah,
It sort of just exists, and then it sort of
It just exists now at this point. We have no
it
idea.
doesn't really have any like big ciphers or anything big about it. It's just kind of there.
Yeah, we're working on it. I think.
I mean, all I know so far, all I remember or know that so far is essentially, I believe. I mean, Fletchy can correct me if I've gotten this wrong because they know the most about this stuff. But like, Frozzy decided to say "fuck all of y'all" and just became an arsonist and set a fire to the Void Cafe. And like Shiki, Azure, and like, 3 people died. It was Shiki, Azure, and somebody else. 3 people died. 3 other people went missing. And I believe like Frozzy was the one who set the whole place on fire or something, which is kind of funny and also fitting.
I hope I didn't die. I probably died.
No, I think you're one of those that went missing, Tucker.
Cherry, why you say that?
Hopefully I didn't die after going missing.
No, wait, Cherry, we're gonna have a little conversation DMs right now.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
Oh yeah, I don't think I was supposed to say
Secrets.
You fucker.
Mistakes happen, don't.
It's fine. We still haven't done.
Accidents occur.
We still have.
that. No, I thought it was pretty obvious. Because
We haven't said
the
it.
whole newspaper article was somebody burnt down.
Stop.
Cherry!
Stop.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. I'll see you guys next week.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming.